Hey, film fans, we're the Merco Movie Guys. I'm Clint Chad, and this is my buddy Chad Weeks.
We're a couple guys who like movies and like to talk about movies. Clint, what are we going to talk about today?
You know, as we just wrapped up 24 with the Oscars last time, I think we need to revisit like our top 10 list of our favorite movies in 2024.
I totally agree because I think that the Oscars missed some of the better ones. And some of them that they chose just shouldn't even have been on that list at all. So let's give them their due diligence.
I was actually I seen another podcast of guys that were sitting there talking, about kind of like this whole change in the Oscars, right? Like it used to be like your big blockbuster movies, right? Like used to be the ones that get nominated and get the nod, and we've kind of transitioned, I don't know, probably over the last 4 or 5 years to really more art films. I would probably call a majority of them.
And, you think it's been the last 4 or 5 years? Feels like it's been a lot longer than that, but maybe I'm wrong.
It may be, but if you go back like in the 2000s, you start hitting like Lord of the Rings and some of these like big movies, right? That were absolutely Avatar, right? Like you get some of those that were absolutely incredible, and I just feel like we just don't see a whole lot of that. Dune 2 was probably the closest thing on the list this year. So
I mean, Wicked is a
Wicked too. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah,
but I do agree. I feel like sometimes you see a film and it's like that is a clear that is an Oscar grab. That is somebody wanting to win an Oscar, and that's all they're doing there. I could drop a lot of names, but some people like them, and I feel like sometimes it's like the Emperor has the Emperor's New Clothes, where everybody's like, "Oh yeah, that was beautiful, and really everybody's thinking, "Man, I will never watch that again. I hated that movie." But you got to, in order to be cool, you got to say that was an awesome movie. So
yeah. And I would say for a majority of the types of movies that I watch, I just don't usually land in the Oscar crowd. So I figured this would be a great time for us to put our own list together. And what did we enjoy watching?
Absolutely.
So I got to start out. I know there's a fact that you've been sitting on, and I think that we just need to open with this. You have, I think, hit a pretty big milestone for this year, and really upholding the Merco Movie Guy name a lot more than I have been upholding this name. So how many movies, 2024 movies, have you watched this year?
I have seen 54 movies this year. 54 that were released in 2024. I mean, I watched more movies than that, but those are the ones that were released in they weren't all in 2024 either. Like I just recently watched a couple of them to add to the list, and I still have more that I wanted to see. I never got to see like DD or I don't know. There was a few on the list that I wanted to see, and I forgot, or I just didn't get time to.
So I have only watched. I'll throw this out there, but I've actually only watched 15. 2024 films, and I am probably more in the Merco TV show guy this year, because I think I've watched a whole heck of a lot of TV shows. So
are you logging these on Letterboxd?
I have not. I am terrible about that. So
yeah, you should log them on Letterboxd. That way and I go use it for sometimes. It's like, because I think Gattaca, for example, I've watched it like 3 times, because every time I see it recommended, it's like, I don't think I've seen that movie, and then I go to watch it, and oh yeah, I know this one, and it's fantastic though. So every time you watch it, it's a good watch. Yeah,
I did just finish. I think you as well. I did just finish season 3 of Invincible.
Yeah,
absolutely fantastic. Want more. Kind of sad that this season's over. So
yeah, one complaint that I have about Invincible, to me, the stakes are never that high, because like they will wipe out an entire city without thinking about it. Like just absolutely. I bet it's in the hundreds of thousands of people that we've seen killed in Invincible.
Right.
But as far as a hero goes, no matter who they are, if they die, they have some sort of technology to bring them back. It's like the one guy.
They're a robot now, right?
Yeah, exactly. The guy that had his face completely split in half and was laying there. Well, his finger wiggled, so he went to another dimension. They built him again, and he's tip top. It just it blows my mind. So like, yeah, even the ones that supposedly died in this last season, did they?
Did they?
I feel like if somebody else is taking their name,
I think we're a few heroes short on after this this season. So now,
but then in the same sense, though,
right? I said you always got multiple dimensions as well, right?
Well, and that character that died in this season actually has a clone coming up that he took over his name. So,
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so it's like there's the same one. I'm sure that he's going to have the same powers, probably get the same personality by the time it's all said and done, and be voiced by the same actor, which is Rafi from the League. I don't know what his real name is.
You just did some spoilers here, so
I did, and I'm sorry. We might have to edit that out.
Yeah, that's a big one. But no, I mean, like I said, I've watched actually a pile of TV shows this year, and I think that there's been a lot of great shows that have come out. But hey, we're not here to talk about TV shows. That'll have to be for another episode. So let's jump into movies. I have my list, and you have your list. So let's see where they fall. I do want to preface this though. This is not based on any ratings. This is just based on what did I enjoy watching.
Yeah,
that's it. So some of my movies on here are probably rated low, but I enjoyed watching them. So
well, and I want to follow that up with the fact that I personally, some of the movies that are on here, I rated them higher on Letterboxd, but I might have had them behind something that I put. You know, it's like, okay, this isn't as good of a movie, but I liked it more. So,
right.
You know, and I feel like there's a difference there somehow. So, you know, this is the way I feel like this list should go.
Yeah. I like that.
Cool. All right. So you want to just do 10 and 10 and we'll just keep rolling through these?
Yeah, we'll just roll through these. I don't think we need to spend a whole lot of time on each one. We may find a couple of them that we want to chat about, but other than that, let's just dive into it. So
pitter patter.
I'll open up with my number 10. So number 10 on my list is A Quiet Place Day One. So I've enjoyed that series. This was kind of a fun look at how this whole thing kicked off. And it's always fun when we have a movie on the list that is from a couple local guys too, right? So
looking at those local guys
that created the whole thought around this series. Anyway,
well, a franchise. They created a franchise.
Yeah,
like, that's crazy. You know, like they're going to be listed with like Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings. Like realistically, it's a franchise, so they are in those categories now. And looking at those guys to because we want to interview you. So
come on our show, please.
Yeah, accept that invite. Let's do it.
I mean,
it's a great movie. I think that the cat character in that film is something that people, because I wonder too. It's like, so there's going to be no dogs left in the world, right? There's just no possible way that a dog could survive this, unless it's on one of those islands or whatever. But like the cat, it's like, a cat's pretty wily. A cat's quiet. A cat has a chance at this whole thing, and I think that was a huge aspect of it. And it also gave her somebody to feed off of. Like when they used to do the comics and they'd have the sidekick. Yeah, sidekick to give her somebody to talk to and stuff. So,
well, I knew that this would scratch an itch for you just from the cat alone. So
that's exactly right. Yeah, it's shameful how much I love the cat.
I would say that I am still and I think we've discussed this before, right? Which is I think this is probably my third favorite out of the three films. Right. For that aspect. But this was like I said, it was a fun, unique look at kind of how this whole thing started. And I think that's there's a lot of questions on the first one of man, what happened? Right.
Yeah.
And so this was kind of cool to kind of go back and take a look at that day one. So anyway, that's my number 10 on my list.
Yeah. Solid number 10. My number 10 is, all right. So we're going to stick with this. We're going to stick with, Scott and Brian here, and my number 10 was Heretic.
Heretic was my number 11. Is what's funny on that.
Okay,
so,
all right, perfect. Yeah, so Heretic, and we don't need to talk about it a lot because we went into it quite a bit with when we're talking with Noah previously. But I really enjoyed it. I've never seen I think it's an original idea. I think that a film based about religion and basically him challenging them to that was fantastic. And now that I've watched Yellow Jackets, I like it a little bit more due to the fact of I can't remember the gal's name right now, but Natalie on Yellow Jackets is there. Sophie Thatcher, fantastic. I love her so much.
Yeah, like I said, that was my first runner up. So and I really enjoyed that. I again original thought. I loved the whole like the game piece setup. You know, kind of how that was kind of designed. I enjoyed that whole aspect.
We got to see that setup too.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. It's up there in the theater. Go watch it. Go check it out.
Number 9, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on number 9 either, just because we talked about it at the Oscars, and that's The Substance.
Oh, yeah.
I do want to say that The Substance is one that I didn't realize it, but it took a lot of it paid homage to a lot more movies than I thought, like 2001: A Space Odyssey. There's different scenes in there that are kind of that are basically fashioned after that. And there's a whole bunch of them that do it. I don't have any examples right now other than that one, but pretty cool. Pretty cool that they did that.
Well,
what's your number 9?
My next one on number 9 is you'll laugh at this, but this just scratches the action movie itch that I enjoy, and it's an actor that I like, and I actually enjoyed this movie. I think this was back in the spring, but Jason Statham's The Beekeeper.
Oh man, I haven't seen The Beekeeper. Tell me about The Beekeeper. Movie. Yeah, I've been wanting to see that. Tell me about it.
Yeah, no, it's pretty interesting because it's basically a woman that I think it's his landlord ends up getting scammed out of all of her money.
Yeah.
Right. And like, I mean, it's like $2 million or something that they end up stealing from her, which then she ends up committing suicide because this was it was one of those where she was running like a charity organization. They took all that money. They took everything. Right. And so after she unalives herself there, Jason Statham basically goes after the scammers. And that's the whole piece, right? You're getting this whole vengeance aspect. And it is just really fun. Like there's a couple like just really cool scenes when he's walking into the office building with the two gas cans and things of that nature. And it's just classic Jason Statham. Yeah. It's a classic vengeance movie. And there's not a whole lot more to it than that. Right.
I feel like Jason Statham has always been righting all the wrongs in the universe. Saving every woman that needs protecting. But this story seems a little bit like a South Park episode where Cartman, like everybody's taking advantage of the old people with the telemarket or the late night online shopping thing, and it's like, oh, I gotta have that. They go out and get revenge on all those people anyway.
Oh, there you go.
South Park has an episode about it, right? What's that?
I said same idea.
Exactly, same thing.
All right. Well, I'm gonna keep stay with the action movies. This was a fun one for me. I probably could have put it a little bit higher. Actually, I probably could have put it higher than probably a couple others on this list. But The Fall Guy.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the excuse me. But I enjoyed the whole concept of The Fall Guy. Like, I think this is a remake, if I'm not totally mistaken.
Yeah, actually, there's a cameo by the original guys at the end of it.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, I can't remember their name right now, but yeah.
Yeah, but no, I enjoyed like this whole, like, it was very fun. It's almost one of those stories that you could just see happening in the real world, right?
Yeah.
Like, somebody's trying to protect their image and they'll go to crazy extremes, to protect that. And I just thought it was a lot of fun. It kind of showed a little bit of like behind the scenes, like how some of these stunts are made. I thought that was really interesting. The whole love story between him and Emily Blunt, right?
Emily Blunt. Yeah, I was gonna say it's
and
it's Ryan Gosling we were talking about here too.
Yeah, Ryan Gosling, and I like the whole like when they're telling their love story in the form of this alien movie. I thought was pretty fun.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, The Fall Guy is number 8.
So you said you thought you could bring it higher, but you didn't. Just any reason why? Just
Yeah, I think the next, like, there's a couple on my list that you're probably going to like roll your eyes on, but like again, they're just the rewatchability maybe more for me, and but I probably could have bumped this up to probably 5 or 6.
Yeah.
So
I put it at 7. So that's why the reason
okay. Yeah.
And I think that you're forgetting a couple key factors there. Aaron Taylor Johnson, like he was the main actor, you know.
Yeah.
I loved his role so much. He was so despicable and so like classic Hollywood, what you expect from Hollywood, and what everybody wants to hate about Hollywood. And Hannah Waddingham, is that right? Hannah Waddingham? Hannah Waddingham. She was, I think she was the agent or something like that. But
Yeah.
Also, we can break a little news right here. Ted Lasso 4 coming out this year, or not this year, but it's coming out. It's gonna be fantastic. Last thing about The Fall Guy, though, did you know that they actually set a record for most flips in a car? When they set the record for flips in a car, that really was.
Oh, no kidding! That actually was the record.
Yes.
That's so cool.
Yeah. And yeah, Ryan Gosling. I have such a man crush on him, man, because he's so everything he's in. It's like that dude's so charming, and I just like him. I go back to Crazy Stupid Love. I think that's his best work. That's not true. That's not true at all. But it's one of my favorite rom-coms.
I mean, I enjoy his acting right now. He brings definitely that flair to the scene. So
yeah, absolutely. All right, so I got mine. Okay, so my number 8. My number 8. You probably haven't seen this one. Blink Twice.
I have not. No.
So I went back and forth on Blink Twice multiple times on whether I was going to add this one to the list or not. I bet that it's not, because it has a lot of faults. Okay, so some of the storyline doesn't add up, but ultimately, Kayla and I, we thought about this movie for weeks after it, and we just randomly break out in conversation. So like, but this part right here, so this and this, that was that, you know, like that's, so it gave us a lot to chew on afterwards. But also it's a trigger warning type of movie, so if you want to check it out before you go out and see this. But anyway, basically it is directed by Zoe Kravitz and stars Channing Tatum and Naomi Ackie. It's about basically this billionaire who has his own island, and all of his friends, he invites these women out there, and all these women and men go out and like party for, you know, a long extended time. And it's harrowing. it's one of those things that like, it's so good. And it's rewarding when you get through it. But also sometimes it's like, oh my God, I can't, it's terrible to watch. It's really tough. It's really tough to watch at times. So anyway, I debated about putting it on the list, but it did make me think about it so much, and we talked about it so much that I had to. So I would recommend seeing this one. Just go in with a little bit of an open mind, because it does have its faults, a lot of stuff. It's like, well, that doesn't add up, you know? So anyway, that was my number.
It sounds like, though, like, again, like back to, you know, it may not be the best movie on the list, but it was something that definitely made an impact on you and made you think about it a little, you know.
Yeah, correct.
Even after it was all done.
Yep, that's exactly right. It gave me a lot to chew on, and I think that a lot of people that watch it are going to say that it was their favorite movie of 2024. A lot of people are going to say that movie was absolutely terrible, and I agree with both of them. You know what I mean? Like, it makes sense. I get both sides, so I'm with you.
It's what I love about movies, right? Yep. We all can have completely different opinions on all this.
Yep. John Wesley Norton watching 2012. He and that lady up front, they watched 2 different movies that day.
Yeah, two different movies. Yeah.
Love it.
So your number 7 is The Fall Guy then, right?
Yep. My number 7 is The Fall Guy, so we can skip right past that one.
All right. My number 7 is probably going to upset people that it's my number 7, because I think there was a lot of like.
I feel like I'm ready for it. I'm ready to be upset.
Yeah, and a lot of this comes back to I probably got a couple on my list that are more nostalgia, right? And I had a much smaller list to choose from too, right?
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
had to
exactly.
had to
You
look
can
into
only
this.
eliminate 5 movies from your list.
Yeah, exactly. So, but Twisters
Oh,
and
yeah. Haven't seen Twisters either.
Yeah, and Twisters was just a yeah, there's some crazy aspects, but if you enjoyed the first one, you have to suspend a little bit of belief, right?
What's the main character's name? His real name, the actor?
Oh, yeah, he's the
in Top Gun Maverick. Shouldn't
Top
ask that
Gun.
because I just figured you'd have it.
Glenn Powell.
Yep, Glenn Powell.
Powell.
He's on a upward trajectory. I think he's going to be fantastic. He's going to be the next big thing.
Yeah, he's going to have to like find. I'm probably going to again probably rub some people the wrong way. I think he's going to have to find his path. He's trying to get into like some of these rom-coms, and I actually think like he has better acting chops than just sticking with some of these rom-coms. Like I'd like to see him get into a couple more serious roles. I think he would actually benefit from that a little bit.
So while we're on that topic, though, and I agree. I think that movie should be on here, and I think that it'll probably have the same thing. I think that a lot of movie fans are going to say that movie was terrible, but I think that a lot of popcorn watching film fans, which is what we kind of brand ourselves as, are going to love it. So,
so
I'll
watch it again.
Yeah, I want to watch it, but I've been putting it off because that's one that I want to watch with like my family. And have that big, it doesn't really matter if you talk during the movie because who cares, right?
Exactly.
You're not going to miss much, maybe a witty line here or there.
And
but
I also think though too, wouldn't you want to say that like even like the original Twister and like Twisters, I think for us in the Midwest, we look at these movies a little bit differently though too, right? Like, I mean, like we're going to be in a tornado warning here in about an hour and a half. We have like 100-mile-an-hour winds coming at us, right?
Yep.
So
my daughter is heading to my mom's just in case that tornado does hit. So
that's what I'm saying. I mean, like we live in that, right? Like that's a thing that we have. So like there is something there that I think that there's a little bit of, I don't know. I think it probably just impacts us a little bit.
Yeah. But while we're on that subject, though, I have my top 20 pulled up, and I want to throw out a quick plug for the movie Hitman, which also stars Glenn Powell. I think that's on like Netflix or something like that. But anybody watching should watch Hitman because it's fantastic. It's really good.
Put that on the list.
Yeah, and he does awesome in it. Awesome. Yeah. So go watch that one.
All right, I'm going to move to my number 6.
Number 6, let's hear it.
Number 6, I know there was a little controversy around this, right, on the messaging and things of that nature. I enjoy, like, apocalyptic type movies. And this one hit at an interesting time, which was Civil War. I thought I had a lot of fun watching this. It's one of those where you could, I don't care what side you think is either side, right? But it's just a cool premise for a movie. And I enjoyed, like, I always enjoy, take like a Zombieland, like when they're traveling across to get to somewhere, right?
Yeah.
I always enjoy those types of movies, like where it's like a journey that they have to make and they encounter all of these different challenges. And then you have knockoff Matt Damon, who is just absolutely incredible.
Is that what you're calling Jesse Plemons?
Oh yeah, that guy.
We still don't know how to pronounce his last name, but
Jesse
that's
Plemons,
not what you're. Yeah, knockoff. Yeah.
He's Costco Matt Damon.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Sorry, that's just what he is.
Yeah.
So, and here's the thing. I say that, all jokes aside, the dude's acting chops are absolutely incredible, and I want more of him. I want him in every movie that I go to watch because this guy can play. Honestly, he can play any role that I think you give him. So, and in this role, he could not have played a better role for him. I loved the line, "Yeah, but what kind of American are you?" Like, because they're like, "Yeah, we're Americans," and he's like, "Yeah, but what kind are you?" And it was just such a creepy, like, you're like, "Oh, this is gonna go bad."
Yeah, I feel like he's in that category of like he doesn't phone anything in. So and like this isn't one where you would, but he's got a bit part, and I think he was a last second addition there because
I
like
could see that.
the person that was going to do it couldn't do it, and he's married to Kirsten Dunst, so he just jumps in and fills that role, and just crushed it. I mean, like kind of stole the show for a long time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I totally get that, and even game night, you think about his.
Yeah.
How can that be? How can that be profitable for Frito Lay's?
It's just like, the weird way to ask questions,
Yeah.
And that's the funny thing is, it's not like he's got a huge part, but when you seen him in the trailer making that statement, you're like, I want to watch this movie.
Yeah.
He pulls you, like he makes you want to go watch that. So, but anyway, it was a fun, like I enjoy those types of movies. I'm looking for another TV show that kind of plays into that same thing, which is this is more like zombie aspect, but The Last of Us. I think season 2 is going to be coming out on that, and that's another one like where they're traveling across, right? Like I enjoy those types of types of films. So
yeah, absolutely, and that's number 19 on my list too. So like, I really liked it. I think that's the one. I moved it from 19 all the way up to 13. And then back down, and it just kept rotating because it's like, it to me, I think that they could have gone a little bit more into the, a little bit more into the divisive stuff, but I still loved it. I still loved every second of it. It was fantastic. So because I didn't know what to do with it. So
it literally it reminds me of like almost in the same category as like The Hunted, right? That came out there 2-3 years ago,
The Hunt. You talking about The Hunt?
The Hunt.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like that's kind of like the same flavor of film that, and I really enjoyed that film too. So
I love The Hunt. That is one. Yeah. I watched that one multiple times because it's like, this is wild. But I wish they would have done more of what The Hunt did on like that.
Absolutely.
Do it. Do it if you're going to do it. But no, I totally agree. And I tried to look it up on my phone here while we're talking, but Jesse Plemons is going to be, he's rumored to be an actor for a big film coming up that we would both be like, oh, he's going to be playing that person. I don't remember what it was, and I can't, but something big isn't coming for him. So
good.
Yeah.
I'm going to continue to make fun of him just because he has a very close appearance to Matt Damon for some reason. And so I'm always going to refer to him as the Costco Matt Damon, but I think he's like one of the best actors in Hollywood right now. So,
yep, absolutely. Number 6 for me, that was your number 6, right?
Yep.
Number 6 for me. This is a film that I watched it Oscar Day, and I had kind of like an emotional reaction to it at the end. It's like, it was a really good movie, and you could just feel the overwhelming pain and anxiety and stuff like that.
Is it The Brutalist?
No, it is not. It is not. It is Sing Sing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Sing Sing. I rated this one a 5, but I didn't put it high. That as high in the top 5. So, but I rated it as a 5 because it was. There's a lot of art to it. It was beautiful. So this film is about a bunch of prisoners in Sing Sing prison who every year they put together a play, and they put together the play for like the prisoners and that sort of thing. And it is like these guys take it so seriously and get so involved with it. But the cool part was, and I didn't realize it till the end, was that other than the main character who is played by Coleman Domingo, and I can't believe I forgot that name, Coleman Domingo, the rest of them were all former prisoners. Actually, were part of this group. And it's like, and like all of a sudden it's like, and like, there's in the third act or second act, second act, Coleman Domingo's like giving up. And at this point he's already talked the guy that he basically recruited and was the I'm talking in circles here. So like the guy that is, he's like his protege, and he doesn't want anybody walking behind him when he's rehearsing and stuff because he's worried about somebody knifing him or whatever,
right,
sort of thing. So he's really concerned about that. And then Coleman Domingo's character talks him into, which is based off a real character, and he talks him into like giving that up and like being more of a decent person and this sort of thing, and like just let it go. This is all we have. Let's live for it. And then by the end of it, you see him kind of lifting Coleman up because he's like, we need you, man. This is what, and because he's down. He's lost his parole hearing or whatever. And it's just, and by the end of it, like I'm watching it, the credits, and it's showing like the actual films and stuff like that. And I know that they're all like murderers and drug dealers and whatever, but like, my God, it was so emotional. Like it was glorious. I don't know. That's the only way to put it. I loved this film, and I can't say enough good things about it. The acting by these criminals, I go back and it's like, that guy is a criminal, and they're all out of prison now. They've been released, so they couldn't have been that bad. But like to see that, it was amazing. Like that was good acting. Anyway, sorry, I went off on a tirade there, but like no, I had to.
It's interesting. Like what got me thinking on that. I always think it's neat when the films pull in like real people that aren't necessarily actors, right? To do this, and it's funny because random story here that I'm gonna kind of link this back to, which is I'm probably gonna mess up the relationship here, but it's like one of my mom's good friends' son or nephew, I can't remember. Like anyway, somewhere here was like part of like SEAL Team 6 at one point in time, like just one of these like SEAL guys, right? And he got signed to do the training for the actors in Equalizer 2.
Okay.
You remember like they were like raiding his apartment, and he had all those guys that were coming in, and he had to take them all out, right?
Yeah.
And so he was the one that was going to train them to where everything was accurate, right?
Yeah.
How you clear a room and everything else, right? He gets into training these guys, and like the director's basically like, yeah, we're just going to have you do the acting.
Oh,
and
no!
So
kidding?
they ended up like signing this guy on, and he's in the film, right? And he's like not an actor whatsoever, yet he got brought in to do the training, and then they just brought him in to end up doing the acting on it. So
he Bruce Willis them.
Yeah, it's just so cool. Like
that's
I couldn't imagine.
Joke.
Like,
I don't know if you know that or not. Like,
what was that?
So that's an Armageddon joke. Like where they
only
us can only drillers can drill at.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
Yeah. Anyway, it was just I just think that's a cool.
It is cool, and I want to throw one more.
I should talk to Mom and see if we can't get that guy on the podcast.
Absolutely,
that would be awesome. Talk to like first off just a bad son of a gun,
American hero,
deal, but also like he's been in a pretty big blockbuster movie. So
the other one, the second guy, his name is Clarence Macklin. He played Clarence Divine Eye Macklin, and that's the guy that was the number 2. So like he was the guy that I don't know. It was awesome, man. Awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right, what's your number 5?
Number 5, Nosferatu.
That is high on my list. I have been waiting to get that, whether it's on a streaming service or whatnot, that I can watch this movie. So
it would,
it's all in black and white, right?
No, it's in color, but it's just such a muted color scheme that it looks like it's in black and white.
Gotcha.
So so this one could be higher on my list. I feel like it almost had comical, like unintentional comical parts to it that kind of turned me off. And I've been wanting to talk to somebody about this for a while. So that's why one of the reasons, Willem Dafoe's character throughout, and many of them do this, but like he will just be like talking and he's like, pray. And it's like, when he's saying pray, he's meaning please. Like, and it's like, pray. Why did you do that? And it's like, but he's just shouts it like that. And I don't know if that's the way they used to talk, but like the only way that I would even know how to use the word pray in that sense was a comic book that I read back in the 90s, where it's a Submariner talking to Aquaman and saying, how did you destroy your hand? Pray tell, how did you hurt your hand?
Oh, please tell. Yeah.
Patting yourself on the back too much. And it's like, that's the only time I've ever heard it used, but they used it, I bet no less than 6 times. No less than 6 times. They would just say pray. And it's like, but they didn't mean pray. They meant please. And I don't know why. But aside from that, it is. Go ahead.
No, it like that reminds me when we were talking to Paul Holbrook about his movie. What was the what's the word they used to call a priest?
Oh yeah. Oh, I can't remember. But yeah, that went through us for a loop too. He kept using it.
Yeah, like I even tried to use it in the podcast, which made me look even more foolish.
Yeah.
But because I was just not confident in using this term,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's just funny, like when you come across, like, whether it's an old English way of saying something, or like, again, like just a different way of, like the way UK says it or whatever,
Yeah. Yeah.
it always kind of throws you off a little bit when you hear some of that. And
Yeah.
it's always funny to hear, like, not everybody uses the American English that we're all used to here. So
Exactly. But regardless, on the actual film, it was great. There was a lot of, like, the acting was incredible. That color
Willem
scheme.
Dafoe, it's got to be.
Oh yeah, exactly. He was great. But Nicholas Hoult, I think, was also great. And it was Stellan Skarsgård. Which oh no, not a Skarsgård. Oh yeah, Bill Skarsgård. Okay, yeah, Count Orlok was Bill Skarsgård. And then Aaron Taylor Johnson, Lily Rose Depp, all of them just absolutely killed their roles, did fantastic. And it's I wouldn't put this one in as much of a horror as much as it is like a dreadful and like daunting type of film. Like there was all that, I don't want to say anxiety, but there was that haunting feeling holding over you the whole time. As much, it wasn't like your typical scary. It's not going to give you nightmares, I don't think.
Yeah.
So
like I said, that one's on my list to watch as well. Man, my list is getting big, Chad.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to double my movies here.
Yeah.
But all right, my number 5.
Yep. Let's hear it.
So I'm gonna preface this again. This would not be probably on anybody's top 5.
Yeah, it's probably not my list because I probably haven't seen it. I think half the movies you've mentioned so far I haven't even seen yet. So,
which is interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
So I enjoyed this movie. I just have to say, it's going to be one of those. It has some rewatchability to it. I think that there are definitely places where it left me wanting more. I think they probably tried to cram too much in the movie, which actually probably made it way less of a movie. But that's Gladiator 2. Like,
okay.
I enjoyed watching that. It was one of this is where I probably could have flip-flopped maybe The Fall Guy and Gladiator 2 here. But yeah,
You're
I mean,
Denzel guy
again,
too.
What was that?
You're a Denzel guy too.
Yeah, I am. Yeah. I mean, Denzel's role in this, I enjoy watching Denzel as like the bad guy.
Yeah.
I think some of my issues that I have with it is it didn't do a great job of setting up the main character's like background of like, why is this guy as awesome as a warrior as the original Gladiator? Like when you watch Gladiator 1, you know why those guys follow him.
Yeah.
You know that he's the best of the best. He's the best general out of everybody. He has a reputation, right? That's where I feel like that this part was lacking, that this main character doesn't have that background. And it's like, it's a little hard to believe like you just get everybody signed on and you're this much of a badass, right? That I don't know. That's probably my one complaint. The other complaint would be Denzel's incredibly rapid rise to power.
Yeah.
That it's like, that's where I think they crammed too much in the movie.
Yeah.
Where it
Not
was
the
like
sharks. The sharks wasn't the line.
The whole shark scene, right? It was fun. Like I enjoyed the battle. You give me a ship and a couple ships that are battling and throw some sharks in there, and that's just again
That was a real thing, though. I think they actually filled it up and did the sieges with the ships.
I have heard both ways on this, Chad. I've heard that that's never happened, and I've heard some other rumblings that it has. So I don't know where I don't know where the accuracy is on this, but regardless, if you fill up the Coliseum full of water and have some ships and some sharks, it's still fun. So
yeah, it does seem like an incredibly possible feat to do, but
And
they did a lot crazier things.
Well, the other thing too, like, here's probably why I put this and why I enjoyed this movie. Like, the twist of finding out who the main character is, like, it did take me a little bit to like figure this out. Like, all of a sudden, because I hadn't looked into this movie like at all. Like, I just kind of went into it blind, and so all of a sudden, it's like, holy cow! Like, that's who this guy is, right? Like,
how long did it take you? I mean, it wasn't
I
like
mean,
it was,
not yeah. I mean, I was probably like, a little bit into the movie, but still, like that was a fun little twist, and it kind of ties into the first one, right?
Yeah.
And so I enjoyed that. So
I almost wish that they would have just gone a completely different route and like had somebody new and do like the same thing over, but like, I mean, like they can have a tie-in, I guess, but not. I don't know.
Like,
it was
like
fun.
his number 2 or something, right? Or
yeah, exactly, yeah. I don't know, but I mean, it was fine, and I agree. It's a good cinema film. I thought that it was a little saturated with CGI. That was my big takeaway or my big problem with it. It just seemed like I feel like we're getting a little too reliant on that, and like it, I guess in Gladiator though the lion or the tigers were clearly CGI, and I didn't complain back then. But I think it's just I'm getting to the point where I'm just seeing so much
that
CGI.
movie. These two movies are not in the same category.
They're not. They're not.
Like,
they're not.
Not remotely.
They're
like,
not.
One is one of the greatest movies of all time, and this one is going to be a forgotten about movie of 2024.
Correct. Okay. My number 4, we won't talk about. And that was your
number 5, right?
Oh yeah. So go do your number 4.
Okay. So what was your number 5?
Nosferatu.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm on my number 4.
Snake Draft.
Number 4. I really enjoyed this movie. This was a fast-paced. I like, again, a good vengeance type of movie here, and that is Monkey Man.
Oh, I haven't seen that one either.
Monkey Man.
Dave Chappelle is right. Is that his name?
I would have to go back and look, but it is a phenomenal movie. I love the whole backstory. I love like this dude that's trying to come up through the ranks of like a fight club, and then he's trying to get revenge on the folks that basically, wiped out his village. And it is just a fun movie to watch. You don't know what's going to end up happening on all this. It's like, is this guy gonna live or not? And I enjoyed this, and this is right up my alley for the kind of movies that I enjoy for an action film. Great. Like I said, I loved the plot. I loved all the fight scenes. Absolutely wonderful. I could have probably bumped this maybe one, but this is gonna sit at number 4 on my list.
Yeah, I've heard that Monkey Man is like unhinged action, basically.
It is. Like, it's, I mean, lots of gore, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's a gory movie. And so if you don't like that, probably don't watch it. But, man, the action is just nonstop in this thing.
It's been on my list, and I think I just kind of forgot about it and, pursued other things. But need to revisit that one. Or not revisit it, but watch it for sure.
Yeah.
Number 4 for me is going to be a quick one. Nora. Again, we talked about it previously.
One Best Picture.
Yeah. And I think rightfully so. That was my pick. Beautiful film. I'll say rightfully so out of the ones that were nominated.
Yeah.
Beautiful film. Tragic and funny, but for all the wrong reasons. I don't know. But it definitely worth the watch.
All right. Perfect. What's your number 3?
Number 3. Okay, I am going. There is not going to be anybody that's going to have this film as high as what I do. It's Better Man. Okay, so Better Man. Have you? I asked you this when we were golfing the other day. If you knew who Robbie Williams was.
Oh yeah.
I did
English
not.
singer.
Yeah.
Yep.
So do you know anything about Better Man?
No, it's his life story though, isn't it?
It is a biopic about Robbie Williams.
Yeah.
And so like I watched the one by I can't think of his name right now. Timothy Chalamet and Bob Dylan.
A Complete Unknown.
A Complete Unknown. Yeah. I watched that one, and as soon as it was over, it's like don't ever want to watch it again. It was fine. Like, it was just, what was that story? What was the point of that whole story? I feel like Better Man has such a deeper telling. There's this relationship with his father. There's him traveling through, like, he starts off as a in a boy band, and he travels through these different levels of his fame. He's dating the girl, the lead singer from All Saints. So, like, he's with her when when her song Never Ever hits number one.
Yeah.
But then he goes out and parties with Liam Gallagher, or whatever his name is, the guy from Oasis. Goes out and parties with Oasis, and it's so this, but the whole time this is being done as the lead character is a chimp. And seriously, they never address it. They just treat him like a normal human, but it's a chimp the whole time. And the only, I don't think there's as much symbolism with it as what you want to say. Like, at one point, he's looking at himself in the mirror and he says, "This is as far as I have evolved," or whatever. And that's the only time that they really address it.
Do you think of it's like playing off of performer feels like a trained monkey?
Yes, that's exactly what it is. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's like they're and that's all that's there. They go through all that stuff. I've never seen a chimp look as cool as this one does, though. Like, it's like, you look awesome.
Is it like a CGI? I'd imagine a CGI.
Yeah, it's
chimp?
CGI, but yeah, it's all stop motion type of thing. So it's a little bit better than just like your typical CGI.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, go ahead and badmouth.
Yeah, and then the main character's a whole CGI,
and then just be like, I loved a movie about a chimpanzee that was all CGI. So
the thing is, obviously he's a chimp, so you know it's CGI, but like you don't notice it as much in this one as what you do. Yeah. Anyway, so I didn't know anything about Robbie Williams going into this, and like, he goes through his boy band days, and he's very like he's a great storyteller while he's going through this, and then it's like, okay, so this guy's big.
Is he voicing it?
Yeah. So he's the voice of this, and he's he's the voice, but also there's somebody else. Jono Davies is helping voice, so there's somebody else in there that's helping. So I don't know how that all works out, but like, when they finally get to a song that I know, and it's called Angels, and I've been singing it ever since, but like, it's a unplugged version of it, and he starts singing that, and I'm like, oh, finally I know a song, and it's awesome. I honestly thought it was like an Elton John song, but
yeah, well, from the same country, I believe. So
yeah, exactly. And my goodness, man, it was fantastic. The whole
movie. He was a massive star back in like the late 90s, early 2000s, or whatever. Yeah. I mean, like, he was huge over in UK.
It's wild that I didn't know him as well. Like, when I saw when they started singing the All Saints song, or like when they started introducing her, it's like, oh yeah, finally somebody I know. And it's like, it's sad that I knew her and that band and Oasis, obviously, but then you had Robbie Williams, who they said that sold out this other I can't even remember what the stadium is called. It's not Wembley or whatever, but they sold out the stadium and sold or Wimbledon. They sold out the stadium, and it for like a whole weekend. So it was like 350,000 people saw him in this one weekend.
Holy cow.
And it's like, this guy's that big of a star to do that. It was like a record at the time. And I had no clue who he was.
It is interesting though, like, when you get these like international stars that, again, like, unless you're in that genre, you're just not going to hear them as much. Right. And it's just crazy. There's some of these that are just giants. And we don't even recognize it.
Our little American world. Just
I want to say it's like K-pop or one of those, right? One of the Korean pop bands, and it's like, they're huge. Correct. It's absolutely insane on how they sell out places and everything else, and it's like, I would have no clue. Yep. So
it's like BTX or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, but my number 3.
Watch this movie. Watch it.
Yeah, no, I told you before, I love biopics. So
yeah.
My 15th movie is a biopic, by the way.
Okay,
what's that? Which is Bob Marley, One Love.
Haven't seen that one either.
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. I love Bob Marley, and it was fun. Just didn't make my top 10. So, But again, if anyone's like listening here, like you can end up seeing that I like a lot of action and things of that nature on a lot of these. So,
I feel like
which
I know where we're
sticking
headed.
with that, this is probably one of my actually the next three are just giant blockbusters anyway. But Furiosa, a Mad Max saga, is my number three.
Okay,
So
that's my number two.
that's your number two. I figured it was probably up there on your list. You and I disagree on this because I think you say this is the best Mad Max that they've made to date, and I still like Fury Road is by far my favorite. But
I keep trying to talk myself out of it, Clint, but I can't. I just can't. Chris Hemsworth in there, like I could listen to him talk in all lady and gentlemen's, like the way he talks to me is just so clever and so simple. I loved everything about it. I think there were so many little nuances to it. The bear and I don't. It shows the battle. Like I feel like the fact like so Fury Road did a great job of it, but like I wanted to know what was happening on Bullet at Bullet City. Is it Bullet City or
Bullet Farm?
Bullet Town, Bullet Farm. I don't know, but yeah, Bullet Farm and Gasoline City or whatever. It doesn't matter. Gastown. There you go. Yes. I wanted to know what happened with those because they kept talking about it, but we didn't know what those were. And it's like it was really well done. I guess I just hijacked your number three because I wanted to talk about how much better it was than Fury Road. But
so Fury Road to me just brought Mad Max back to life. So, and I was a huge Mad Max guy. So like I've watched all the Mad Maxes. Devin watches them like he's watched them multiple times. So we love Mad Max in this house. And so Fury Road was just like the first one to just bring that back. Tom Hardy, I thought, was like the perfect road warrior in that. And the other thing that Fury Road gave me that I didn't think Furiosa did, which is the music and the sound in Fury Road.
I knew you were going to go with
what it. That's what just hooked me. Yeah. I compare that to our last episode when you said the gal in Wicked, her eyes is what like grabbed you into it, and like that changed your whole thing. When that drummer and the guitarist are playing on that, it just captivated me at that point in time, and I'm like, I'm in this, and I want to watch that with the volume at crank to 11, man. Like,
totally agree. And I don't feel like you get this anywhere in Fury Road or in Furiosa.
No,
but also,
not at all.
So on the so I totally agree, and I feel like cinematically watching Fury Road, like again with the surround sound just absolutely cranked, and my wife yelling at me for being too loud. That's the vibe I want. Furiosa though, I don't get that at all. I guess so. It isn't as cinematic.
Furiosa may have been like a better story, right?
I feel like more nuanced, as far as I think is the word I want to use, and I don't know if that's the right term. I don't know how to describe that. Nuanced. There's a nuance to it that like, and I'm not sure how else to describe it other than it's nuanced, and I like it. I also think that I take Anya Taylor-Joy over I can never remember her name, and Chris Hemsworth. Charlize Theron.
Charlize Theron, yeah. She played an amazing role though in that. Like that, she was cast perfect in that role.
Which one? I mean, they both
in
were.
Fury Road.
Yeah.
But I know I'm saying Charlize Theron in Fury Road was cast absolutely perfect. So
I think I heard Anya Taylor-Joy talk about how it was intimidating knowing that she was going to have to be a young Charlize Theron because it's like she's her. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, hey, we're not too far off. We got this at 3 and 2.
Nope. So. I totally agree. Yeah, I thought you would have this one much lower, so I'm glad to hear that.
No. It was too good of a movie to put any lower than that. I am going to move to my number 2.
Yep. I heard mine.
We don't need to spend a whole lot of time on this. Timothée Chalamet, Dune 2, was absolutely incredible. So,
I had Dune 2 in my top 10, and I just couldn't do it. I think anywhere from 10 to 15 could have easily moved around. Up 9 to 15 could have moved around really easily with me. I just couldn't do it.
Dune 2 just and the hard part with Dune 2 is I have such a hard time putting it as a standalone movie. right?
Yep.
Like you have to watch Dune 1 to even understand what's going on in Dune 2. So that's the downfall of this, is you have to bucket them together to truly actually look at the story, right? Altogether. But it was just a work of art. I was happy to see this thing get nominated for Best Picture. Zendaya, I think, was absolutely incredible in this. Just the casting was phenomenal. Another Skarsgård as well in this one. So
maybe that was Stellan Skarsgård. He's the dad, or the
he's on the Black Sun planet.
Yeah.
So
you had to bring that up too, and now I can't tell you. Yeah, but it's a Skarsgård. I can't remember. It doesn't matter. I don't want to look it up.
Apparently, that entire family is taking over Hollywood. So
yes, that's Stellan.
There's like 15 of them. So
you know what was funny about that though is I looked at it was actually Austin Butler, and I'm like, that's a Skarsgård. Which Skarsgård is that? And Kayla's like, I think it's Austin Butler, and I'm like, I think you're right, but it looks like a Skarsgård. and then I get to his dad. I'm like, no, he's the Skarsgård. He's a Skarsgård.
We get to the point where they're all Skarsgårds because, like I said, there's like so many of them, and they're all like top notch. So
Austin Butler, Fade Rotha, he gave me very Pennywise vibes.
Yeah. So because that was a Skarsgård too, right?
Yeah. Yes, and I couldn't tell you which one, Bill or
Bill, I think. But
what's his brother's
name?
I'm
probably wrong. Yeah. So, all right. Let's go into your number one.
Well, what's your number one? You was number two.
I know. I went to my number two, and then it would have went to your number two. So you're the first one on number one now. Okay,
my number two was Furiosa. My number one. My number one is I can't. You want to talk about a movie that you think about a lot, and we're going to stick with the Zendaya thing here. It's Challengers. And I have evaluated this movie over and over again. I want to talk about it, and I might want to talk about it too much. And I also want to walk lightly on it because there's subjects in here that I don't want to offend anyone, and I don't want to take anything away, and I don't want to
don't get us banned.
Don't want to get us banned. So this is a sexually charged movie from the very beginning, and it never lets up. Okay, it is very sexually charged. It starts off, it's two buddies that are great tennis players. And first off, for some reason, I have this love for tennis. I don't know a lot about it. I don't watch it a ton, but I just love tennis. Like, I think it's like, anyway.
Sure.
So they're three tennis players. These two buddies, best friends, and they're up and coming. They're playing the juniors in tennis. And then Zendaya is the tennis player that is in the same bracket. They're all juniors, but she's like got the Adidas sponsorships, and she is the future Hall of Famer type of thing. These other two guys are going to be all right. They could be all right, But anyway, so they meet her at this juniors competition. They win the doubles. She wins the singles, and then they start hanging out. Next thing you know, one of these guys starts dating Zendaya, her character. She goes to college with the other guy. She blows out her knee, and she breaks up with this guy, ends up getting married to this guy, and there's this love triangle throughout the entirety of it. Okay. And there is so much.
So it's kind of like they're both in love with Zendaya, but they also may have a affection for each other as well.
They have an affection for each other. She is a conduit for their love for each other, but it's not the kind of like, it's a love. It's a friendship love. And it is like, they need each other to succeed. And that's what they can't understand this. And like they're both fighting it, and they're using her as like this, the conduit for this.
This is like the exact story of Blades of Glory.
Yeah, it kind of is. Like, if I think about it, there's a little bit to it, but I'm not kidding you, Clint. Like, so, and also, like, I can talk about the cinematography on it because it's beautiful. The soundtrack or the score is awesome because it's got like this kind of techno vibe to it, and Zendaya just kills it. She is clearly the star, but she's not the focus. And I don't know how else to say that either. But this movie is a masterpiece. It is an absolute masterpiece. And the way they reveal certain things throughout it, it's beautiful. I hate all of them. I hate them all. I hate these characters because it gives you so much angst and anger, and it's like, you guys suck. but also like you kind of love them. I don't know. It is such a complex film. I bet I could take something away from it different every time I watched it. But anyway, I want to one more time just wrap it up, and I wish everybody would watch Challengers and just because it's so good. I can't say enough about it. I geek out about it. I am very passionate about this one because it is so complex, and I loved it. Loved it.
All right. I know you have talked very highly of it, so I will put that on the list as well, along with the other 15 that I need to go watch.
Well,
so.
I've got 15 from your list, basically, because I haven't watched anything you watched.
Yeah, I can't believe that you haven't watched some of these with watching 52 movies. So, and I can't believe that my number one is not even on your list.
I tried, man. I tried.
How do you not put this movie on your list?
I told you 9 to 15. They were all right there.
Like, you know what my number one is, right?
I do, and I wondered how high it would be on your list, and I knew it would be, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it, man. And I should have.
Man, I'm gonna have to start throwing you in like the critic category if you're not.
I know, and I don't do that. I put Fall Guy up here. I put Fall Guy at number 7, and I could have put it. I could have put it at 9. I could have put it at 7.
Ridiculous. What's my number one, Chad?
Deadpool and Wolverine.
You darn right it is. That was a work of art.
Yeah. It was a work of art. It was great.
Everything about that movie is fantastic. That is like the movie for 24 for me. Like I can't think of any other movie that I would put as number one. I mean, that thing it scratches every itch that I have. It has ties to the Fox, Marvel universe. It has some closure. It has comedy. It has everything that I want.
Yeah. And
nostalgia. It's got a ton of nostalgia to it.
Yeah, it does. It does. It has a ton of that stuff. And it's great. I don't know why I didn't put it up higher. I don't, like I said,
I'm just shocked.
Yeah,
I'm not shocked that it's not your number one. I am just shocked it is not on your top 10 list.
It was a decision, Clint. Like, it was a decision. Like, this was deliberate. And I knew I would get shamed for it. And I tried.
I am going to shame you for this. I can't believe
I tried. It's just to me. I mean, I'll probably watch it more than most of these.
Here's the other reason why I'll throw this at least. I think it should be at least on the top 10, but this is why I also throw it on number 1. There was not a movie in 2024 that I was more excited to come out. And I have to look at all aspects of this movie, not just the movie itself, but how excited am I how long have I been waiting for this? What is the setup? And this is one of those, like, last year, it's like, I can't wait for Deadpool and Wolverine to come out. It's the only movie probably on my list that I literally just could not wait. I feel like I'm just shaming you at this point in time. That's bad camaraderie on my part. I apologize for that. I take ownership in that, but I have to call a spade here. So
I'll tell you exactly why it wasn't on my list. It's because of that thread that I found where I got the 2 spoilers, the 2 biggest spoilers in the movie. That's probably what it is. I'm still salty about that.
Oh, you did get You know what?
Took the 2 biggest moments of the movie from me.
For a guy that stays away from social media, that, like, for those of you that are still with us here, Chad's a guy that, like, he shuts his phone off on football days when the Bills are playing because he doesn't want any spoilers. He's a guy that will not look at social media before a Deadpool and Wolverine comes out. Like, he won't. He stays away from all of this. Yet, for whatever reason, he decides to get on, I don't know, Reddit or something the day before the film and just gets full on spoiled.
Yeah, let me tell you about this though. Like, so for example, like when Spider-Man came out and I couldn't watch it until Saturday, I wouldn't check any of I deleted all my social media apps from Thursday until Saturday after the movie. I wouldn't look at anything.
You're like deleting the actual app.
Deleting the app so you can't, that I don't get a pop up.
You don't get the notification. Yeah.
Yep. Nothing like that.
You could just go in and just shut off notifications. It'd probably save you a little time, but
probably could. But yeah, anyway, I should probably delete some of those anyway, just because it's killing my time. But anyway,
yeah, that's true. That's all of us.
But no, this one, I was deliberate about that too, because I was going in and I wanted to find out where they had a good Deadpool and Wolverine popcorn bucket, and I couldn't find it by Googling which, is it AMC or because my thought is I'm free right now. I could run to AMC in Galesburg and get me a popcorn bucket before we go see the film and see what they have in Burlington.
But Chad, you're just giving me more ammo. There's not a movie on your list that you gave two craps about a popcorn bucket.
No, you're right. I don't need a popcorn bucket. Or the gin for it, or the the Deadpool gin that we went so hard to find.
Yeah, that was a bad purchase.
And
but hey, it was fun.
And we got matching necklaces for it. All this stuff, and it did make my top 10. Yeah, you're right. It should be in there. I can redo this, and I could probably move it up to 7, and I'd be okay with that.
I would at least appreciate it being.
Did I get too pretentious on it? Is that what I did? I got too pretentious.
I think you did. I think literally we started this conversation off talking about the Oscars and them being too pretentious, and you just pulled an Oscars on Deadpool and Wolverine.
IMDb. Seeing what my rating was on this one. Or not on IMDb, on
Letterboxd,
yeah. Oh, I got to go back out. I rated that one. This is good. This is good to watch. Me looking stuff up. I rated it. Why doesn't it show me what I rated? Oh, it did. I rated it a 4. So I rated it a 4.
A 4 out of 5?
Yeah. Most of these were 4.5s out of 5s.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. If it would have been a 5, I would have been like, okay.
Look at you being the critic.
Shut up.
Way to go, Siskel.
Real quick, I want to run through my last 10. I'm just going to list them off here real quick.
Yeah, I was going to do the same thing with my last 5. So
okay. All right. 11, Wicked. 12, Conclave. 13, Dune. 14, that one. 15, Alien Romulus. 16, My Old Ass. It's a good one.
Yeah. I've heard actually a lot of good things on that.
It's really good. 17, Your Monster. Love that one. 18 was Hitman, like we talked about. 19 was Civil War. And 20 was Longlegs.
Your Monster just made me think of this, but do you know what my mother just found this week?
I don't know, but we're going to mention Anita and Your Monster in the same sentence here. No, go ahead. Oh, did you have go ahead. My Pet Monster?
She found My Pet Monster.
I knew it.
She found it.
Yeah. What are you going to do with My Pet Monster?
I'm either going to put him in my house or I'm going to put him in your pool house. One or the other. I mean, he still even has the handcuffs on him, man. I got the whole thing.
You should put him in your backdrop there.
Oh, I should. Yeah. I can't wait. I told him, I told Mom, I'm like, I am going to come pick him up. So, all right. Hey, here's my 5. I told you Heretic was my 11. 12 was Venom, The Last Dance. Enjoyed, nothing to write home to Mom about, but
I just wish the villain would have been more complex. It's just like they had Noel. You could have used Noel, and that would have been awesome. That would have been a great final fight. But
I was actually kind of annoyed with how undefeatable the monsters were. Is actually what annoyed
That's what
me.
I mean.
So
it's like in going back to the Suicide
Squad.
Where they
Squad. Exactly.
Big piles of turds that are terrible.
I just didn't like that was probably my big my biggest complaint. So that was 11, 12, 13 is Roadhouse. I enjoyed Roadhouse. Thought that was fun. 14 is The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare.
Haven't seen that one either.
So that's with Henry Cavill. Yeah. So kind of a fun World War II-esque film that was kind of fun. I enjoyed it, but wouldn't make my top 10. And then Bob Marley, One Love. Yeah. So, but all right. Well, Chad, we are we have went through our top 10. I think this I don't know, where would you put this for a year worth of movies? Like, looking at your top 10, like, is this a good year of movies? Is this an okay year of movies? Because
I thought it was a little wanting, but I think that's also because we only had one Marvel movie. I think that that hurt it a little bit.
Your list.
Yeah, did he make my list? But it's funny because I even
wasn't there more. I mean, there was more Marvel movies than that because we had Kraven the Hunter was in there.
And Venom, but like there weren't any MCU movies, I guess.
Yeah,
I even have my cool little Wolverine thing sitting right next to me here. That
was Captain America. Was that 25?
Yep, 25.
That just came out last month. So, yep.
Solid movie though.
Yeah.
Probably.
Well, I tell you what,
10 this year.
What was that?
Captain America probably won't make my top 10 this year though.
Yeah, I actually need to go watch that.
It's really, really good. Just not gonna. It's not anything special. I mean, like, it's not good movie.
I have been traveling way too much to go to the movie theaters right now, but that is I will definitely get that one watched. But
we're doing a double feature this weekend.
Oh, nice! What are you watching?
Mickey 17.
Oh, that actually looks fantastic.
It looks awesome. Bong Joon-ho, man, I am stoked. Sophia and I are going up and doing a day trip for that one, and we're also going to go see Last Breath, my sister's recommendation.
Oh,
it's a Woody Harrelson flick. Should be good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, with that, Chad, the credits are rolling.
The lights are coming on.
And that's the end of the show.